Hello. In this video, I'll be reflecting on my experiences in this technology education course, focusing on how my technological, pedagogical, and contact knowledge, or TPAC, has developed throughout the term. So first of all is my overall experience. I thought overall this course was both eye-opening and empowering. Coming into the course, I felt pretty comfortable using technology in my personal life, but I didn't always feel confident integrating it into meaningfully into my teaching practice. And over time, over the course, I saw a lot of different ways on how we can use technology, not just as a tool for engagement, like through videos and stuff, but also as something that can help transform our pedagogy and deepen content understanding when used intentionally. To sum it up, I think the course has helped me shift from asking how can I use technology for teaching to asking how can technology be used to enhance student learning in this specific contents. Next, we have one part of the course that I really liked, which was talking about our digital resources. I thought it was one of our most impactful sessions, especially when looking at it from a science perspective, as I'm teaching or going to be teaching biology and chemistry. I'm very passionate about science education, and I love the idea of using simulations to enhance conceptual understanding, like using like example I have here up on the screen. From FET, it's like a virtual lab where you get to balance a chemical equation, but it also shows how you can show concepts that are hard to like see in real life because obviously you can't see atoms in the classroom or really at all. We can't see atoms. So having using online simulations to then show students a representation of what that looks like can really help them understand concepts on a deeper level. Um, from a content knowledge perspective, I saw how simulations can clarify complex scientific concepts. From a pedagogical knowledge perspective, I learned how simulations can support inquiry-based learning and differentiated instruction. And from a technological knowledge perspective, I gained practical experience navigating and evaluating digital tools for their quality and accessibility. FET is a really awesome one, specifically because it's completely free for everybody to use, but there's lots of other online simulation tools. I think the most thing when you're like looking at what tools to use is that you have to see does this simulation itself truly deepen conceptual understanding, or is it just like a game that's fun to play and doesn't actually have any like curriculum connection? How can you scaffold it to avoid passive screen time? So it's really important that you like actually explain to your students how to use it and teach them how to go through it so they're not just playing around and not using it properly, and how it can complement hands-on lab experiences rather than replace them. I wouldn't want to like just replace a dissection with an online dissection, but you could also use an online dissection for um, practice on how to do one in real life. Going faster, as I realized that that took up a lot of time. I also really liked our digital assessment tools, specifically how, like from a pedagogical standpoint, you can use these tools to support assessment for learning, not just assessment of learning. I really like that you can provide like immediate feedback. That's my favorite thing on the Google Forms. If you get the wrong answer, you can provide feedback for what the right answer is, but also how to get there. It's was also just good practice to help design meaningful questions, and see like how we can use online assessment tools for students. The next part of the course that I really liked was the e-portfolio. I liked being able to see how we can use technology to and how it can work with reflection instead of just using it as like always like content-based stuff. So I like that throughout the course we had to make things, put them on a portfolio, and then talk about what we thought about them and what we liked about them. What benefited me, the benefit talking about benefits and challenge, I think what benefited me most on the course is the emphasis on intentionality on so it was never presented as like a replacement for good teaching, but instead you're constantly encouraged to ask, does this tool support learning goals? Is it inclusive and accessible? And does it enhance rather than distract from the content? And I think that mindset is really important and is going to stay with me. Some of the only challenges I think with the course is that there's a little bit of information overload. We did a lot of tools, especially in sort of our minds on stuff, and then also just as like little things throughout the course. So I think there was a lot of stuff to go over, which can be a bit overwhelming. And I don't know if I really got experience using everything like I'd like to actually explore everything fully. So that's something I also have to do in my free time. But overall, I think the benefits far outweigh any of the challenges. Uh, as for my future aspirations with educational technology, the main thing that I want to take away from the course is how we can basically support inquiry-based and experiential learning, how we can how it can be used to enhance accessibility for diverse learners, how it can be used to promote student reflections and ownership over their own work, and how it can connect science learning to real world applications, specifically useful in terms of STSC, which is a really big, important part of the science curriculum. There's a lot of great case studies and stuff that you can use for science from online, from a lot of different online sources that are also another great way to use technology that we didn't really cover in this course. I also think that the future of teaching is like completely intertwined with education technology, just technology in general. We just see technology become more and more a part of our lives. Like, especially my generation, we grew up using technology, so I think it's really important to like go over and learn like how we can incorporate this into meaningful pedagogy instead of just like slapping on it everywhere or just ignoring it completely, because like we covered like throughout this course, there's always like really impactful things you can do with technology, like being able to give real-time feedback on quizzes or on questions if they're reviewing, like being able to use it for simulations and other online stuff like online tours, and getting to see things that you wouldn't normally be able to see in real life. And I think we need to learn to work with technology and not treat it as like an enemy or something to ignore. Overall, I really enjoyed the course, and thank you for listening.